Okay, now it's going to be a little hard for you to see, so you're going to need to listen to the words as well as watching what I'm doing the best that I can. So what you are going to do is you're going to find your photo. Here's an example of one. It's going to be in your inbox. Here's one. Happens to be from Brianna, and she put her name in the heading, and you can see here the little paper clip. That means the file is there. But I'm not going to open her file. I want to open another file because I want to show you how this can go. Okay, now there's several ways you can open this. If you right-click on this, it'll give you the menu Open With, and you'll need to open it with Photoshop, not Illustrator, but Photoshop. The other way you can open a file is to go here where the flag is. It's the Start menu. If you go to the Start menu, you look for Adobe Photoshop. If you don't see Adobe Photoshop, there's going to be another thing called Adobe, the Adobe Suite, and you open that up. Here's the files that I already have open, and if you open Adobe Photoshop, that'll get you there. Okay, now this is not the right shape. We're going to be using linoleum, and when you send it to me, I resize it. You can see that the ratio is a little bit too wide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim it a little bit. This photo, though, I've got to say, this one's way too dark. That's a little bit better, has a little bit more contrast. That one's kind of interesting, dynamic. I might go with that one. This one, interesting, some good contrast there. This has an interesting angle. And this one is way too white, so that's not going to work at all. I'm going to go with this one because I think that's kind of interesting. Not that much contrast, but we'll give it a try. So this part, we don't need that. That's no good. I have already trimmed it for you. Oh, by the way, the trim tool is over here. It has these V shapes right there. Okay, so when I click on this, it's going to allow me to create a marquee, and I'll be able to pull this. And I want the ratio to fit my linoleum. So that means cutting off a little bit. Let's see, this is a little bit there, a little bit there. I think that's pretty close. And again, I did this for you. So I go to Image, way up here. It goes, PS stands for Photoshop, File, Edit, Image. Pretty much a lot of the things we're going to do go in Image. Crop, and there it's a little smaller. Okay, but this is the wrong size. Let's see. Image, image size, and that's 13 inches. This is 9 inches. So again, you're not going to make these changes. I'm going to make these changes. So it's 9 inches by 5.8. That is close enough. So I'm going to accept that. Once I do that, I give it a name. So this one is 1, underline, Hafner, underline, crop. It's really important to give your files good names, and it's also important that you save it someplace that you can find it. This file that I have is on the desktop. You can save things on the desktop today, but if you leave it overnight, it's going to be gone. It will not be there the next day. It doesn't save things on the desktop. So they were giving me lots of messages, but that's what I do want to do, is save it. Okay, now this is your job. You're going to go to Filter, Sketch, Stamp. Okay, now that is way big. So down here, make it a little smaller so I can see it. There. Here's the plus and the minus so I can see it. This is smoothness, and when we do this, it takes away those jagged edges. It looks a little bit like a cow, like the spouts in a cow. All of these little spotty things, you're going to have to gouge out. That's not too bad. And how dark and light. If I go here, it's going to take away a lot of the dark. If I go here, it's going to give me more dark. And honestly, this is not the best photo to use because you can't tell what it is. It doesn't look like anything. So I would go back to my photos and I would pick another one. But we'll go ahead and go OK. File. Save as. So after crop, we're going to put underline, stamp, and save. Okay, so let's say that's not really the best photo. That one didn't work that well. I think this one might work a little better. So crop. I want to take away all the stuff that's not important. I really want to get up close and personal. Okay, so that's not too bad. I shaved away a little of this side. And this ratio is pretty close. It's not exactly close, but it's pretty close to the ratio of 6:9. So then I go image, crop, file, image, crop, image size. That's way too big. I'm making it smaller. So it's 9 by 5.7. That's pretty good. That'll work. And then I'm going to go to filter, sketch, stamp. And again, it's way too big, so I'm going to reduce it a little bit. That's still not showing very well. And if it turns out that none of your photos look like anything, you're going to want to redo them. You're going to want to make one that makes sense, because we don't want to have a photo that no one can tell what it is at all. Okay. File. Save as. Save it someplace where you can find it. 1, underline, Hafner. This is the second one I did. I can't give it the same name as the first one, so I'm going to call this Hafner 2, underline, crop, underline, stamp. Those are all the things that have happened to it. And save it. Look where you're saving. Where is it being saved? Photo, portrait, underline, Hafner is where I'm saving it, which is on the desktop. You could save it to your Google Drive. You could save it to your student account. Just don't lose it, and make sure that you send it to me. Okay, so how do you send it? Okay, here we are at email. So how do you save it? Well, here I'm going to compose. I'm going to address it to me. There's where I'm addressing it. And who's the subject? It's Hafner photo. That's important too, because with a photo like I just took, you wouldn't be able to tell. And you say photo, attach. You probably will have to write something there, or it'll give you a message. Here's the little paper clip. And then that's on my desktop. So we look on the desktop. It's in a folder. My folder is called Photo Portrait Hafner. And I'm going to send the second one, but I still need to do some more. But you know what? It's better to send me one that you're not totally satisfied and go back. And here we go, send. If you forget to send, it won't arrive. So we go to inbox, and there it is. And here's the paper clip. And that's how I open it. That little arrow helps me open it. And there it is. I know I can do better though. I know I can do better. So I want to go back and I want to make a better photo. But that's the basics. So make sure you get your photos. Make sure you apply the stamp effect. And if it doesn't work, I want you to redo till you get one that works. Good luck.